This is my first time ever doing this, so it'll be
awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, everybody. Welcome to my weekly Facebook Live. Today we have Chrissie Lam, who was just saying this is our first Facebook Live. Well, welcome to the world of Facebook Live. They've been really fun, and I love that we get to share your story with everybody watching because you are up to really interesting things. Everybody, Chrissie is the founder of the loveisproject, and she's nominated for the Tory Burch Foundation Fellows Program, which is a program for female entrepreneurs. Chrissie, can you tell people a little bit more about what this is all about?
Yeah, so the Tory Burch Foundation, it's been going on for a few years now, and they select finalists from around the country.
I hope your Wi-Fi connection didn't just get cut. So everybody, Chrissie is actually coming to us from Bali, where it's midnight, and she's in a co-working space. So I am not sure if she is broadcasting live or not, but I do not hear her. Let me double check. This is the beauty of doing this, and she's in a co-working space. So okay, she looks frozen to me. I'm listening to her. Anyways, we'll see if Chrissie can come back on in a minute or not. But until then, I will just tell you a little bit more about what she's up to. So Chrissie Lam is the founder of the Loveisproject, where, from what I understand, she's been traveling around the world asking people about love and what is love. If you go to loveis.co, you'll see it's actually a bunch of beautiful handmade bracelets that she sells to raise money and support communities, but it's also a bigger social message about what is love, how can we love one another, what is the role of love in our society, and so on. And one of the reasons why we were doing this Facebook Live, and even though I knew it was a risk coming from Bali, where Wi-Fi is not like it is here and we work in New York City, I knew that possibly she'd cut out, so it's okay. But one of the reasons we're doing this is because she's nominated for the Tory Burch Foundation Fellowship for Women Entrepreneurs. And we want you to vote for Chrissie so she can win and join in their fellowship program. It's a really great opportunity. The Tory Burch Foundation actually does a lot of really amazing work with female entrepreneurs and supporting social entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs who are generally up to really good stuff. So I don't know if Chrissie will be joining us or not. It's all questionable. This is the beauty and the wonder of today's technology. But basically what I was going to ask her about was, how does one start a social-driven product company like she has? God, is my face getting cut off, or is that just my view? So some of you may know I'm also the founder of a products company, and Chrissie is the founder of a products company, meaning physical products that are actually made and hand delivered to people, not digital products, not a service. Oh, let's see, there she is. Maybe coming back on. Maybe not, we'll see. But I wanted to ask her some questions about how one can actually grow and sustain. Oh, there you are, hey.
Sorry, I don't know what happened. I'm not sure, like, I'm in Indonesia, obviously, and there's something that just shut everything down, and I'm like, I'm looped on my cell phone right now.
No, so thank you. I was telling everybody that you were coming from Bali, and we all knew it was a risk, and this is the beauty of being an entrepreneur and being able to work from anywhere you really want. Now, are you, tell us about you working in Bali. Is this part of your business, or is it just because it's warm and beautiful and we're having snowstorms? Let's see, it's breaking up a little bit.
Oh,
there. Now I can hear you.
Sorry. I do production in Indonesia. So I'm out here a few times a year working with the artisans and also putting together some photo shoots. So I love being back here. So it's kind of perfect for that.
That's beautiful. Now tell a little bit about the product. I know you work with local artisans, and it's do you consider this a social impact company? Because that's what I see, but.
Yes, and so each artisan in each country, which we started first in Kenya and then now Indonesia, Ecuador, Bhutan in India, and we'll be launching out of Vietnam next month, and then Guatemala and Colombia later this year. So yeah, the whole idea is love connects us all, and it's like helping, like each country is helping fund the next project. So yeah, it's about helping creating jobs for female entrepreneurs in each country, as well as helping like fund other like social mental projects.
Wow, that's incredible. So, you know, one of the reasons I wanted to hold you on as soon as our friend Erin introduced us and I heard what you're up to, I actually have a separate company that's a clothing business. And one of the original reasons I launched it was also, you know, to put something a little more sustainable out there in that niche I was in. And, you know, really be able to show people there is a better way of producing physical products like jewelry, like these beautiful bracelets that actually support others and spread a good message versus just buying crap that's made cheaply and, you know, and then it goes to waste 6 months later. So what was your, you know, journey onto doing this? Like, did you have an epiphany, or were you working with products before, or what were you up to?
I used to work in corporate fashion in New York City for 12 years for American Eagle and Abercrombie, and it was a great gig, but I was like more interested in international development and how to merge my background in design with international development and philanthropy. So I had taken 2008, lived in Vermont, working in projects, and I loved to figure out the next step. And so
it's breaking up. The Wi-Fi, the connection's breaking up a little bit, but
okay.
There, that's good.
Working with brands to connect them and create products for collaborations. And then I was since then, like one of these products I was creating with the Maasai tribe. This is the original love bracelet here. And I took it around the world on a trip around the world to about 50 countries and asked people around. I was on a flight to Russia, and I had this idea, and I thought, you know, obviously the media is there's so much negativity now, and I was just wanting to kind of focus more on positive messages and, you know, show kind of like putting the face behind like lots of different cultures and people. And that's kind of how it started. And then instead of having a brand and then having a social media campaign or hashtag, like I started with just a photo project, then pitched it to my old company, American Eagle, where she stores the year later. And so, yeah, like from then, like wanting to create a brand out of this concept and grow it and scale it from there.
Oh, that's, first of all, I'm shocked that we actually didn't know each other earlier, because I also come from corporate fashion background. I used to work for Gap and Limited Brands and Rebecca Taylor, and still have friends at AE. But that's amazing. I really love that, you know, you were driven by something bigger than you, something that actually has a really deep, amazing, positive message. And then you took these big risks, like, you know, even pitching your own company. You know, I have pitched some big companies with my other brand that were way bigger than I ever expected. But, you know, you have to take that risk because you never know. And it could turn into something really big, especially, you know, I love that you said you started with a photo project. Like, you know, and not probably you probably didn't dump in like, you know, $30,000 worth of marketing strategies, right?
No, that came later. But I think I went kind of backwards in it, but I think it's actually kind of, you know, good in a way where it's a kind of like you allow yourself like that time to explore and then try different things, and then, you know, something will come out of it, you know, or whether it's like you learn something and then you can kind of evolve it and keep on, you know, changing and reiterating on that idea. So I think, you know, that's how I feel like we've been able to launch this and make it successful. And I think love is just a word that resonates with everyone and around. So I think it has legs. I
love it. They're a little breaking up here and there, but but yeah, you know, I like, you said something pretty important, and I want people to hear this because this is how I started my last business. It's how I started my current business, but really approach everything, you know, just from the heart and not being so attached to what's going to unfold, how it's going to look, how it's going to manifest. And really, I actually say what shifted for me was changing the word business to project. Like, let me approach this as a project and like see what happens, you know, just something I really want to do. And this seems to be what you did. And now look, I mean, you're nominated for this fellowship, you're growing, you get to go live in Bali and do production in amazing places around the world.
This is the dream. This is exactly what I want to be doing. There's nothing else I would want to do right now.
I love it. Now tell about, what is the benefit of being part of the Tory Burch Fellowship? Uh-oh. Still some cutting up.
Happening.
Oh, okay. There's a little delay in everything I say, it seems.
So yes, with the Tory Burch, they offer a $10,000, so like a mentorship for 1 year, and they also you were kind of entered into this Goldman Sachs 10,000 Women Entrepreneur Program. And then if you're a fellow, you go to New York mid-May to pitch in front of Tory and a panel. And if you win, you get $100,000 to put towards your company.
Wow. So that's a big opportunity.
Pretty good deal. Right.
Wow. Well, everybody be sure to vote for Chrissie. The link is in this post. It's very important. It just takes a second. And really, you know, especially, I know most of my clients are actually women. I know I'm in a lot of networking groups and a lot of amazing groups that, you know, the coaches that I coach with, you know, mostly female entrepreneurs. And now is the time where we really need to start supporting this. And thankfully there are businesses and companies and foundations like this really helping, you know, and not just Chrissie and her business, but really helping the whole world, right? Like all the people that are doing the production, the manufacturing, you know, the communities are being affected by that. They're getting more money. Their communities are getting more money, their families. And it's really this domino effect of, you know, how can we make this world a better place? You know, additionally, the actual products are awesome and they're beautiful. Now, can you tell people a little bit more about where to find them? I know on your website that what's next?
So on loveisproject.co, you can find them. We're about 40 wholesalers in the country, like in LA at like Fred Siegel, or like, different, Sophie Reese in New York, Sugar Brew in Atlanta. So, and a couple Gypsy Surf in Florida. So we have some great supporters who have found us through Instagram and Facebook and reached out to us. So that's how we're growing by word of mouth.
I love it. Now, I'm just curious, you just mentioned, has Instagram been helpful for your business?
Yes, huge. Instagram and Facebook have been huge for us to be able to grow and scale. So that's how we have, been able to, reach a lot of people around the world and be able to tell that message and that the story, because so much about the product is the story and the message versus The whole idea originally too was like, it's not like I'm the first person to come up with the cause marking bracelet, or like Live Strong. You can look at that, but that was a plastic bracelet, but like it raised millions and millions of dollars for the foundation. And I think, and I'm not the first person to put love on a bracelet, but I think the idea is like, it's like the story behind it. People are like sharing what love means to them, and being able to kind of like, make it really impactful, as well as like socially and economically empowering for these artisan groups.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. I mean, the story, you know, I know there's the marketing people that are like, the story is so important, but then there's the reality of, you know, this is what resonates with people, right? Like, so I have a clothing brand that literally, and I tell people this very transparently, I was literally using the exact same fabrics as Nike and Lululemon because there's only so many fabric suppliers, you know, and they're very, like, I know how to find them and I found them. And I use the same production facility as some other competing brands, you know, like literally my competition. But what distinguishes me from them and them from someone else is really just that. It's the story. It's what's behind it. You know, like, how is it being made? Who's making it? Who is it being made for? You know, what are the differences in the product that actually makes it more unique? You know, and why would I have a cult following for my product and then like another brand who's making the exact same thing has a cult following for their product? You know, it all comes down to that, like what resonates, you know, and I always say this to people, there's 8 billion people on the planet. And if you want to go make, you know, a bracelet or whatever, you know, some people will resonate with your bracelet and some will resonate with another, but you know, it doesn't matter. It's like just putting it out there, stepping into the scary, oh, I'm putting myself out there and who knows what's going to happen. I mean, I know you've experienced this because now you've experienced all the growth and, you know, seeing what happens. But so many people that come to me struggle with that. Like, you know, I have this idea, but I'm really scared. Or what if it fails? Or, you know, what if someone buys this over that? You know, but it doesn't matter. It's that depth of the story and how is it actually, you know, like, why would someone buy it? Like, tell your story and the people behind the product. Now, how do you feel about that? Like, you being behind the product, but also the face of the brand. And, you know, I see some of the social media and the images on the website, but like, how was that a process for you to just own it and like own up, like you as
it was very empowering to finally kind of take ownership of like my concept, my ideas, and like, and, you know, I think prior to that, I always wanted to help build other people up, and that kind of like also giving away my power, you know, and like, so I felt like this time I felt like I could actually mold it and create what I really wanted and envision it. So it's been a really amazing like year and a half so far. Like I would highly recommend to, you know, like most people to like at least test something, you know, even if you don't know, like you can always change it. Like you don't have to put in tons of money and try it, ask your friends, see what's, you know, and then go for it, and then like keep doing it little by little, you know, you don't have to, you know, so I would definitely.
Oh yeah. That. Always be testing, always be iterating. I agree with you completely. Thank God that was the best decisions I've ever made with my other business, was step by step, very slowly. Like if something doesn't work, go back to the drawing board or scrap it and move on. You know, not dumping, you know, thousands of dollars into something just by guessing that it'll work. Now, Risha has a comment. Chrissie, what are some key strategies to market with Instagram? Meaning, how do you make sure you get traffic for your items and the profile and the numbers keep going up? Like, is there a trick to Instagram?
Well, I've actually had a freelance digital marketer help me out with lots of those things. So it's not my forte, but like I've had someone who helped kind of like strategize and like target, you know, people who would like these type of products and like, and grown it this way, or interest groups. So that's mainly how I've done it. And we're transitioning into an agency in the coming month. So like I definitely like, I would probably put my money in that versus like a trade show or something like that. So yeah. And I tell people this all the time. I love outsourcing. I'm very big on, you know what, if it's not your number one strength, and you know, it's going to take you too long to figure it out, or if you could actually be doing something more productive with your time, that's when you hire someone. You have to hire someone to help you out. And a lot of people are so resistant to hiring people. It's a control thing too, right? And a money thing probably too. So it's a both thing, you know, you got to let go and kind of delegate. So,
I'm like, no, take it, do whatever you want, go for it. I love it. But that's what I used to do for a living when I worked in fashion. I just managed a whole bunch of people. I did product development. So I was like, my strength is in managing multiple amounts of people versus doing it all myself. So I hear you. Now, tell people a little bit more about where to find you, how long the Tory Burch voting is going on for, and tell a little bit more about what you're up to next.
Yeah, sure. So, Tory Burch, you can find and vote on. We have links posted on our Facebook group, on our website, and also if you Google Tory Burch Foundation Fellows, you can also find me on there too, along with 29 other amazing entrepreneurs. Yeah. So, and what's next? We're just excited to see what happens this year. I think there's a lot of cool, great things coming down the pipeline, potential partnerships and collaborations, and we're hoping to, grow a lot this year and expand. So yeah, that's the plan.
So exciting! I actually have some people for you to meet who I know would be interested in collaborations. There's always so many people I know are up to so much cool stuff, and there's so many people with amazing products that are complementary. And thankfully, I always see the world in this like rosy light, like everything's getting better. But thankfully, there's women like you, there's people like you that are putting these more meaningful products out there. Like, coming from a fashion background, it's really taken a lot to start to question like why we buy certain things, and what's going on behind the production, and how is it made, and who are the actual people making it, and how is it impacting their lives and their community. And I'm really glad you're putting this out there and having this conversation, because, to me, it's time that people are starting to wake up and realize like, hey, wait a second. Like, it's not just about buying the cheapest crap I can find on Amazon, but really buying things that are either impacting the world or, better for the world, or better for, the people behind the products, like people who are handcrafting or locally made or giving back, or at least, getting a really great message out there. So I love what you're up to. And everybody be sure to find Chrissie. It's Love Is Project. Isn't it loveis.co, right?
Yeah, loveisproject.co. Yeah.
Yes. And take a second to vote for her on the Tory Burch Foundation. I know as an entrepreneur that when you have these opportunities, this could make and break. Like, this can be really big for her. So please vote. I hope you get in and get
Thank
it.
you.
Even getting nominated out of 29 people is just incredible. So thank you. And thank you for joining us from Bali, even with the—
No problem. Oh, I'm not sure if I answered your question earlier about like being the face of the brand or what it is. I think my other question, thing was also like, I'm traveling to these places and we're filming and shooting at these places. So it's kind of part of the process too. And also like we're on a budget too. So it's kind of also kind of like, we're kind of showing what's happening as we are there, and which I think is, authentic and real. So, I mean, I'm not planning to be in all my photos, but once in a while I'll make an appearance if necessary. So,
no, it's so good. It's so important because, you were the visionary, and you're on the ground. Like, a lot of times, I know you've probably seen this. A lot of times people think like there's a brand out there and there's like 100 employees at the company. And the reality is there's only a few. And it takes a lot of hustle, and it takes a lot of like literal hands-on work, like talking to the manufacturers, talking to the people making these products, and really being there in the process. And I've helped a lot of companies like you, and I tell people like, hey, people want to see that process. They want to see that the hands that are actually going into the product and what it takes to make a new bracelet in Kenya. Like, because most of us have never experienced that. So, it's amazing that you get to show what goes on behind the scenes in the process. So
yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much for doing this work, and thanks for being with me. It was such a joy. And enjoy Bali, because here on the East Coast, it's still chilly and there's snow everywhere.
But thank you so much for having me. This has been great. Thank you. Yeah. So let's stay in touch, and let's meet up in New York when I'm
definitely. Thanks so much, and thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.